Hello everyone, welcome back. I have got something completely different. I found some gameplay by It's Timmy, who is using an eye tracker while playing Apex. And this just gives us a really interesting insight into some of the stuff that he's looking at and the information that he's taking in. So you can see him using the eye tracker now, testing it out. It's that little ghosty blue thing that's sort of flying around everywhere. And remember, that shows exactly what he is looking at directly. It's not showing the stuff in his peripheral vision that he is picking up. So that's something that you need to take into account as well. It's just because he's looking at something doesn't mean that he doesn't notice something out of the corner of his eye. So hopefully we're going to learn a few things about what the really good Apex players are looking at and why. Let's jump straight into it, shall we? So firstly, he kills whatever the hell this guy is doing, and then he goes to loot. So just briefly before the clip ends, he picks up the Mozambique and you see his eyes move to the left because he knows that there is loot there. So he's already positioning his eyes to where his character is going to be turning, and so he's able to see that loot before he actually gets to it. So when he eventually does get to it, he knows whether he's going to be picking up that loot or not. As he's jumping over the man cannon, he's got his eyes fixed on that building, and as soon as he lands, he is scanning the environment, more specifically the areas he knows where people are more likely to be. He notices he's being shot from the top left, and he exchanges fire, and you see as soon as he gets hit, he moves back to cover, and while doing so, he glances down at his health because he needs to check how much he got hit for, and if he's going to use a shield cell or a shield battery. And while he's ripping that cell, he's also scanning possible places for where enemies could be. He spots someone and he starts laying some shots on them, and you'll see just before he pushes out, he glances down at his shields and also glances up the top left for the person that was shooting him previously as well. So he's making sure that he's not going to be getting fired upon and that he's got enough health to survive the battle. However, he gets dropped pretty quickly and he moves back. And what you'll find is that basically every time he gets shot, he's glancing down at his health and he's using that information to determine what his next move will be. So while he's pulling some more shield cells, he's double checking on his teammates' health because again that helps determine the flow of the battle. And finally, towards the end of this battle, you can see he glances over to the, what is that thing called? I'm so tired right now, I can't remember. It's the death recap thing. So anyway, he glances over there to make sure that the team that they're currently fighting are the ones that have just died. And the death scoreboard part actually tells you this. It is actually a hugely underutilized tool that people need to start using a lot more. Even at quick glances, you can gather a lot of information from it, and it's good to see these guys putting it to use. So after he puts some shots down, he quickly glances at his health to double check that he is safe to push, and then as he's pushing up, again he's scanning the environment, he's got his eyes on the top of that building, and he spots someone up there. As he goes inside, he's quickly double checking his health. He needs to pull a battery, so he does that while he's blocking the door. After he finishes the guy off, he jumps down the stairs, and very briefly he dashes to look at his ammo, and then back at his health. So again, you're able to absorb so much information merely at a glance, and that's what this video is really highlighting. So again, as he's moving through the building, he is looking ahead as to where the loot is, and he knows what he's going to be picking up before he gets to it. And he does it once again for all the loot on the ground floor. So it is necessary to know the maps and know where the loot is going to spawn, but when you've got that down, you can direct your eyes to where you're going to be going, which will enable you to think ahead just a little bit. As he's moving through the building, he's double checking his health and scanning the ground for loot before hearing gunshots and heading off in that direction. But he gets taken down. Even gods get slain sometimes. There's not too many videos out here like this because while playing, it's rather distracting having this little ghosty ball thing sort of following your eyes around. But again, this is very insightful as to where he's looking and why, and how you're able to gather so much information from just a glance. You can see he's using just a fraction of a second to check his health or to look at his ammo reserves and if he needs to reload, and of course he is constantly scanning the environment for enemies or for loot depending on the situation. So anyway, I found this video extremely interesting. If you'd like, the full video is down in the description. I hope that you learned a thing or two, and I'll be seeing you guys in the Apex arena. See ya.